Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
This is the People's Court. Yes, I said People's is, so we don't get sued.
All right, so Kelsey had approached us via social media, and we said, listen, nutshell it for us, but we want you to come on and talk about what happened since Valentine's Day. You're trying to figure out where you stand with your man.
Kelsey, appreciate the call and the time. Break down what's going on here, will you?
My boyfriend, well, I'm not so sure if he's really my boyfriend anymore. He's been away on business, but before he left, we got into a bit of a fight, kind of like a breakup.
Okay.
The fight was about a job offer that would make him move across the country, but like all of our family's here, and I don't know why he would even consider it.
Well, hey, quick question. Valentine's Day was a couple of days ago. Did you get any interaction?
I didn't get a call, text, nothing. And he's supposed to come back in a few days, and I haven't heard from him at all since he left.
Okay.
Like, do you think it's over? What should I do? You know, I don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to have a conversation about relocating due to his work, like, at all.
So this was never a conversation before? Like, he never brought up the fact that, yeah, I'd love to further my career. It might take me places. Like, this is out of nowhere for you?
Out of nowhere.
Huh.
And you haven't talked to him since he left? How many days ago was this?
He's been gone about a week.
Yeah, you broke up.
If he didn't contact you on Valentine's Day, I would say you are not a thought to him. So wouldn't you want to move on? I know it's only been like hours since Valentine's Day, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like we've been together 3 years and just being strung, like,
yeah,
like having that news sprung on me, like...
Are we sure that he's okay, by the way? Like, are you sure he's still alive?
I mean, I assume he's alive. I'm imagining, even if we have broken up, that I'm still his emergency contact. So I'm pretty sure he's okay.
All right, so the question is, do we think you're actually in a relationship still if you haven't talked to him in a week and he's pretty much going to take a job that moves you across the country even though you don't want to move across the country?
I mean, his family's here, too.
Go with me on this. Do you feel comfortable if we got his number off the radio, if we give him a ring and just see where his head's at? Maybe he's like, Kelsey who? Like, I don't even know, you know, I don't even want to acknowledge her as my girlfriend anymore. Then you'll have closure.
If you guys want, like, sure.
All right, so let's get his details off the air, and we'll try and get a hold of him here yet this morning.
Also, if you have any advice for Kelsey, if you've been in this situation, should she just move on? Should she try to fight for what she feels like? She wants to be with him. So we could do a little bit of both. We have to get a hold of Ryan.
Yeah, hit us up real quick with a call or a text if you got advice. We'll try and get a hold of this guy next, okay? Hang on the line.
This is the People's Court. Yes, I said People's is, so we don't get sued.
All right, so just talked to Kelsey, and she said that she's wondering where her relationship is with her boyfriend.
Relationship?
Yeah, I know. Of about 3 years. And then this guy, her boyfriend, Ryan, goes to do like a job interview across the country. She's like, why would you move away? All of our family is here. You've never expressed interest in going and moving away. And so he ghosts her for Valentine's Day. She has not heard from him in 1 week. He is due to be back in hours, I believe. And she just wants to know where he stands.
I got this guy's number right here. What's his name, Ryan?
Ryan.
All right, so let's call him in a second. First, I want to talk to Steph. How are you today?
Hey, Steph.
I'm good. How about you?
Good. So what are your thoughts on this? What would you say to Kelsey? Is this over? Is this something you should get a little more clarity on? How would you handle this if you were her?
I mean, I would get some more clarity because there's like 3 options. He's either like dead somewhere over there if she hasn't heard from him, or life there. Like maybe he's doing some online stuff, went out to meet a new lady, and he's just like a crappy boyfriend. Or he is just hardcore ghosting her. And is done and doesn't want to have like the messy conversation.
Wouldn't you think after 3 years they would have the conversation of the future, as in where do you want to live? Where do you want to find a job? He should have brought that up. And so...
Right.
Yeah, I think the ghosting
also,
part...
If he didn't...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, if she's very calm about him, like, not getting in touch with her on Valentine's Day. So I'm guessing, like, he has behaviors of not being, like, a super great boyfriend.
Not the first time he's done this, huh?
Or something that's just like, oh, well, I guess, it's fine that he doesn't contact me on Valentine's Day. Not that Valentine's Day is everything, but, I mean, at least a text.
Right,
I would love to get her some closure because then she can just move on.
Hey, thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate your call. So, again, if we just go along Stephanie's lines, number one, let's hope he's not dead, right?
Yes.
Let's hope somebody would have probably informed his girlfriend of 3 years if the guy was dead. Number two, though, when she brought up, like, he might be a shady guy and there might be another lady that he went to see.
I hope that is not what we find out.
I'm starting to think that's more and more what it is. Or number three, he's just a jerk and ghosted her.
Maybe.
Because you can't, after 3 years of spending that much time with somebody, you can't just not talk to them again, right?
Yeah, some people don't want that guilt, though. Like, after 3 years of wasting somebody's life.
You ready for it? Moment of truth here?
Yeah.
It's always fun. I get nervous when we have to call the...
You love it.
All right.
Hey, it's Ryan. Thanks for calling. Sorry I wasn't able to answer my phone right now. Leave a message, and I'll get right back at you.
Just hang up.
Leave a message.
I don't know. We'll try. Let's try him again. After paparazzi.
Okay.
And I don't want to leave a message because listen, if we say, "Hey, where is Kat and JJ calling from the radio station?" He'll never call back.
Oh, Kelsey just texted, "Call him again."
We were talking about our People's Court from a couple of seconds ago, and Kelsey basically hasn't heard from this dude for a week. Nothing over Valentine's Day. And Leah, you don't think that's that big of a deal because sometimes you don't talk with your man for how long?
Oh, week and a half.
Oh my God!
If we get into a tiff, it is an easy, solid week.
I want you to change that because I want you to really think about what could happen within that week's time. People could die, car accidents.
Why does it always have to go to death?
This is exactly why Derek and I make up. Our fights have never lasted longer than 15 minutes.
Do you guys live together, Leah?
We've been together for a little over 6 years.
Yeah, but do you live together?
It's working for us. No, we don't live together.
Okay, so that makes it a little easier to not talk for a week. But, I mean, on the normal, you guys probably talk several times every day, right?
Yeah, we message throughout the day.
And is this behavior why you're not married?
People. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. He just hasn't asked yet. I don't know.
6 years you're giving all that milk you've given away, girl.
But imagine he asks, and then you guys get in your first fight after you're married. You're living together. You're married. Can you go a week without talking to your spouse?
If we lived together, it would be pretty hard. But, yeah, I could stew for a week.
That's very rare.
A week without talking to this guy.
That's rare to find two people that argue like that. You know, there's always one that wants to just finalize things right away and then one that needs time. But both of you just go your separate ways. I guess if it works.
Yeah, he's a pretty meh guy sometimes when it comes to stuff like that. And I know myself well enough that you don't want me fighting.
What's the last thing you fought about?
Just quiet.
What's the last thing you fought about that led to that break for a week?
I don't even know. It's been a while.
Well, that's good.
Does the makeup stuff make it worth it?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm coming over to your house.
Yeah, I get you. All right. Hey, thanks. We're going to try and call this fool one more time. I hope you have a good day, all right?
Yeah.
Take care, Leah.
Yeah, you guys do.
Call this guy. I would love to get some closure here.
I should text him, too.
How do you ghost a girl for a week? And no Valentine's gifts?
Hey, it's Ryan. Thanks for calling.
Same thing.
All right, I'm going to text him.
Yeah, let's see if we get some resolution to this. So here's the dealio with Ryan.
So he just texted back to my text. See, maybe he's one of those people.
Well, some people don't answer the phone anymore, and I think that's the tough part about this.
I had written him. I said, "Hey, Ryan, this is KCLD trying to get a hold of you." Then he wrote back, "Why?" And then I said, "We'd like to gift you a KCLD T-shirt. Can we chat with you?" And then he said, "I can't right now, but I can tomorrow morning." I said, "Great, what time?"
That?
Because.
You don't think if we'd have said, "Hey, we're calling about your maybe girlfriend," he would have come on the show?
I don't know how he would have reacted. So there's a method. And then he wrote, before 9 a.m. Eastern. So he's not here.
Oh, Darla just texted back. So he's not dead. Good. Dump his ass.
No, he's not dead. And then I just wrote sounds good. So we have the weekend rollout at 8.
A little bait and
then
switch
we have
there.
The pre-roll at 7. So let's do it at 7:30 and just call him. Hot damn.
I don't feel good
I need to
about
work
that.
for like Dateline. I could trap people.
You just lied.
I didn't lie. We'll give him a t-shirt.
Radio Paparazzi.
So Seth Rogen's been married for a while, but he was doing an interview and they were talking about, have you gone on bad dates? He's like, yeah, but I was the bad date because I ended up crying.
But the worst one, I had a woman that I was like casually, we were like hooking up, I guess, you know what I mean? And I was like 20 maybe, and she was a few years older, and it was my birthday coming up. And I was like, I'm going to ask her to be my girlfriend at this dinner on my birthday. Really? And I asked her around when the appetizers were arriving, and she said no. And then I started crying.
Oh, how sad. I feel like his dating life might have mirrored yours back in the day.
Say that one hit pretty close to home right there.
Okay, so the family of Elena Hutchins, that is the woman that passed away on the set of Rust. They are now suing Alec Baldwin. It is going to be a wrongful death lawsuit.
The first rule for safety with firearms on a production set required Mr. Baldwin to treat all firearms as if they were loaded and refrain from pointing a firearm at anyone. The industry standard required Mr. Baldwin to remember that any person or object at which he points a firearm could be destroyed.
Okay, so it could go not in Alec's favor if they can prove that they offered him classes or courses or...
I think they have to prove, and it'd be interesting to get somebody like Mike Bryant on to comment on this, but I think what they'll end up having to prove for a wrongful death is that he was negligent. I mean, he obviously didn't try to kill, and I don't think that's what they're going to try and prove, but that he was negligent in handling that firearm, which I think is probably pretty plausible.
Yeah, it could. So, I mean, I didn't think that it would go this way because he was so close to her family, so we'll see.
Yeah, they're looking out for their kids.
Yeah. Dua Lipa, she's talking about her family and how they are very superstitious people.
Don't take the trash out at night. Don't wash your clothes on a Friday. And then if your left palm gets itchy, you're going to make some money. If your right palm gets itchy, you're going to lose some money. All kinds of silly stuff, honestly. So the evil eye doesn't get you if it's like for a special event or something's happening. So the evil eye doesn't get you, you have to wear your underwear inside out.
That was me on Monday, and it was not superstition.
I wasn't even trying.
I was getting ready in the dark, so it happens. All right, blowing out their candles today. Pop star Ava Max is 28. We have former bad boy from tennis, John McEnroe, 63. And get this, Ice-T is 64 today. So when we hear audio like this, we love to highlight it because I think we've all been in that spot where we're at a job and we're not happy and we just want to kind of out everybody for who they really are, right? This guy at Walmart is all of us.
Attention, all Walmart shoppers and members of management. It has come to my attention that the managers in the online grocery pickup department don't respect any of their employees, and they rather hide and be on their phones when it gets busy. And they also like making fun of employees with autism, and they're blatantly disrespecting every employee in that back room. Oh. So I'm not going to be representing this company. I'm leaving. Have a good day.
Dang. Oh.
Nice guys.
Okay.
You even wished me a good day on the way out.
Day. Just didn't know how to hang up the phone. But listen, there was kind of an overhaul at Walmart the other day. I told you about it when I was there. There were the corporate people walking around, making sure that things had to get back to what they expect. And I think those pop-ins are really good for businesses. It's like, listen, you can't let...
You gotta spot check your employees. You just have to.
Absolutely. I think that it's going to make a big difference.
Let's begin now.
Let's go. Welcome to Hump Day. It's 6:01 in the Playhouse all over your radio. A little bit closer to Mexico. You getting excited now or what?
Yes, I went and got my vacay mani-pedis yesterday, getting my spray tan tomorrow. And I know I should have conditioned my skin and started tanning, and then it just like time gets away from you.
Yeah. I'm okay going in pretty pasty and then coming out gold and bronze.
So over the last, 10 years, I've acquired a lot of vacation clothes. And so I really didn't have to get much at Target yesterday. Went and got some new flip-flops, some jewelry, sunglasses, and a new swimsuit. And that was it.
My wife bought me 2 new pair of swim trunks because she said I was severely out of style.
Yes.
And that's it for me.
Nice.
Otherwise, I got You know what I really wear is like gym shirts. That's it. Because if you're a guy in Mexico, and I think I packed.
Well, you have to have 2 nice outfits.
3 pair of socks and like 1 polo shirt, and that's about it.
1 polo shirt?
Yeah, whatever.
Do you have closed-toed shoes? Do you have your loafers?
I'll wear tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes to Blue Moon?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
My God.
That stuff doesn't matter to me. I think you guys get all hung up on what you wear to dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just there to have some food.
And their food is delicious.
Yeah, that's
cannot
it.
wait.
Yeah, y'all can dress up for me. It's not a big deal, man. I'm telling you, when I leave the country, it is straight chill mode. I ain't even trying to dress up.
So weird.
Weird stuff.
Everybody called me weird. I am weird.
You don't think this is a little weird? No, I don't think it's weird at all.
Weird news.
Body cam footage surfacing from Orlando police at the airport there, dealing with a woman named Chelsea who somehow got her hands on luggage that is electronic.
Haven't you seen these motorized bags? Oh, they're great. You sit on them and you can ride them like a scooter.
That
and
is
they have
amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen these. I see them every time I go to the airport. I see somebody riding one of these.
Really?
Every time.
Did you know that you could probably get a DUI?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's their policy. You just can't be that intoxicated when you fly in a plane, okay?
I'm not that intoxicated.
We need you to go to the terminal, see?
Suck my
Okay, Chelsea. Just go to the terminal. Oh, man, that thing kind of goes fast. I think I'm faster, but can you roll with me to the main terminal? You can't hang out here. It's a secured area. I will just leave you alone. Yeah, follow me.
What though?
Follow me, Chelsea. We'll roll out together. Chelsea, I'll race you.
He's trying to bait her like a little kid.
Come. He was trying to have some fun, but I will be on the lookout.
Oh, they're everywhere.
I will be on the lookout.
They're worth the money too.
Okay, I'm into it, and that is what's weird.
Radio Paparazzi.
Megan Thee Stallion, who is only 27, by the way, and obviously made a big name for herself in the music biz. We're going to hear maybe something new from her.
We're getting new music, and I don't think y'all will expect this from me. It's different. The next thing y'all will hear from me is with somebody you might know, somebody you might have guessed before. I don't know. Oh, but the next thing is going to be fire.
So cryptic. I wonder if it's going to be a ballad.
I bet it's 50 Cent.
What if she has like just a phenomenal singing voice, and then she goes into rapping, and she has like 2 personalities? That'd be really cool. Nick Cannon, he released a new song, by the way, singing new music on Valentine's. It was called Alone, and it's all about how he just still loves Mariah Carey. He'd love to have her back.
First off, I'ma say I ain't got nothing but love for you. I'ma stay away, I ain't got love for you.
Good at it.
I'ma keep my distance, stay in my lane. Cause I know you got a man, it's a little too late.
It's a little too late. Who knew he didn't know how to sing? He's got so many.
He's a talented dude. He
sticks in the fire. It's
not
like, pick
do the
one.
singing.
I don't know. But yeah, he's just saying, I know you have somebody. She's been dating that backup dancer of hers for several years. And it's just a little too late, Nick. Sorry. Mark Wahlberg telling an epic story. I love when Hollywood runs into Hollywood out and about, and it's just really cool.
We went to a restaurant in Santa Monica, and 3 of the greats.
Who are they? Go through their
Billy Crystal, Rob Reiner, Albert Brooks.
Okay.
They're all having dinner with their wives. I'm like, oh my God. And my friend's like, who is that? Like, what do you mean, who is that? You don't know who that is? And so, of course, I'm like, I got to get their check. I told the waiter, just don't tell them it's me. So I said, okay, just tell them that you're a rare prince, because he's got all his jewels on. And anyway, he goes over there, and he doesn't know who they are. And they're kind of looking to see where me and this guy and my son are there. And he goes up and he goes, I love your music. And they're like, what? And Billy Crystal just gets up and gives him a big hug. And I said, I'm doing a big oil and gas deal with him. And like, can we get in? I'm like, no. You
I just always, like, when I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'm like, I am meant to hang out with Larry David. I don't get offended. I would be rolling on the floor constantly. Those men are like old school Hollywood. I would dig that. Blowing out their candles today, we have pop star Ava Max, 28. Pop star The Weeknd is 32. John McEnroe is 63. And my little brother Michael has a birthday today. I just don't know how.
May I set the tone?
Sure. So this is a trend on Facebook, hashtag toxic traits. And this takes a big person to go on social media and put forth their shortcomings. Am I right? I think that people have toxic traits, some more than others.
What does this do for anyone? Answer me that. So hold on. Who's the person that invented this? So let me think about this. You got nothing going on. You can't really sleep. You're determining which channel to watch The Office on and rerun. And you go, maybe I'll start a trend on Facebook about people's toxic traits. Let me start.
Odds are it's somebody that doesn't have many. They just want other people to admit maybe they're manipulative, self-centered, you're negative, you're controlling. Maybe you have a difficulty managing your anger. I don't know what your toxic traits are. But if you had to name one of yours, what would it be?
I don't care.
That is a toxic trait.
Unless you are part of like my friend group. And I know this is horrible to say because there's tens of thousands of people listening. But if you catch a fish, I don't care.
Yeah.
Good for you. If you bought a new truck, I don't care. It's not that I'm not happy for you, because if you're happy, then I genuinely have happiness for you. But there's like a handful of people that I really, really all in care about.
Am I one?
Yeah, we spend so much time in here together. Right. You know what I mean? Like I care about like our team here, right? My family. Like, I care so much for their well-being and their safety and what's next in their life that I don't have time to care about people bitching or anything else on social media. I just don't. And I've purged so much of that over the last couple of years that a lot of people look at it negative, but I don't. I just don't care. It's not that I don't want to. I just don't have the capacity to care if you're going ice fishing this weekend.
Okay.
I don't care.
All
and
right.
it's not a bad thing. What's yours?
We'll give you a rest. I'll get to mine. Let me name Lisa's and Matt's because they texted in during that song. Lisa says, I can't apologize properly. I don't know why. My mom can't either. I guess it was passed down. There are a lot of people that apologize, but then they add the word but. In. Matt had texted, I tend to judge people too quickly. They could do just one little thing and I'm just done. I have a friend like that where it's just like, don't cross her because then she will write you off forever.
How about 0280? My toxic trait? Even with 4 kids, 7 and under, I'm always early for everything.
Oh, my God. That's like at an interview when they're like, hey, what's one of your shortcomings? You're like, I'm too on time.
I'm too professional.
I'm too good at my job.
15 minutes early is getting there on time. My old man was a notorious slave driver for that. 15 minutes early is on time is late. Late, don't bother showing up.
Yep, I agree with that. I'm very, very on time. I would say my hashtag toxic trait is that I hit pretty hard if I'm in between a rock and a hard place. So if I'm in a conversation, for example, it's like if Derek and I are fighting and I'm over it, I'll do this like with my fingers and I'll just be like, your voice is getting too loud. And he hates that, like, because his voice is already different already. You know, it's very like high pitch, unique. Yeah, we'll use unique. But if I ever comment on his voice, then he just like gets so upset and he's like, that's really below the belt.
Wow.
And I don't know why I do
it is.
It is. He's okay down there.
Angela said, I do too much for everyone else and not enough for myself. Sometimes I get taken advantage of. See, and that's so weird that got turned in your head to a toxic trait.
Yeah.
It's not. Because toxic trait to me means it spills over to somebody else and makes their life a little bit worse.
True. But it could spill into your life and make your life worse. Like, I have started really focusing on just my life. Like, I would send a text to somebody, like a parent that I know works late, and I would just say, hey, does so-and-so need a ride to basketball? I don't need to do that. These parents could reach out to me if they need help. You know what I mean? Why am I doing that? So I've stopped doing that.
That's not toxic to me, though.
No, I know, but it started to affect me a little bit where I'm just like, why? Why am I doing that?
You need to take JJ's class of not caring.
I need to go to the school of
Guys,
hard knock. Who cares?
If I could find a way to teach this to people, I genuinely think we'd have
Why don't you start a seminar?
Would you come to my seminar?
I'll put it on and I'll get it going on like...
No. Who would listen to me? I'm the last person to be giving anybody advice. I'm just telling you, I quit caring a while ago.
I think if you have food
so
there,
much better.
I think people would come.
Like finger sandwiches?
Yeah, sure.
The hashtag, what is it, toxic trait?
Hashtag toxic traits. That is trending on Facebook. So people are coming forth, naming off all of their toxic traits, which I think is kind of a big thing to do.
People are being honest with this, or are they making them up just to have something to put on social media?
Why would you make up some of these? Like,
some people are just the attention they seek.
One girl
on
said she
social media.
likes making people feel bad about themselves. I'm like, oh my God, you just said that. Well, typed it out loud.
That's just horrible human trait.
I know. So what is yours? I love all the ones that are coming in that are not toxic. Like, I'm on time too much. I do my work too
I
effectively.
care about other people way too much. Haley, I heard you talk a little bit about this, and then I put you on hold because I want everybody else to hear what we were about to hear. So what's the toxic trait?
Yeah, it's a toxic trait, but like I'm kind of proud of it.
Okay.
So like I'm an up climber, and when I level up, I tend to leave the little people behind. Like I don't need anybody holding me back, and like if they're not rising like I'm rising, then I don't really see the point in keeping those contacts or those relationships.
Yeah.
Because my time is valuable, and I'd rather be spending my time with people that like are on the same level as me, because like we're all on an upward trajectory. So I'm actually kind of proud of this.
So help me understand this a little bit more. Can you give me an example?
Yeah. So for example, like I used to have a lot of overweight friends because I was also fairly overweight, and I did the work to lose the weight, and they didn't. And sorry, not sorry, but like I don't need to stay friends with you.
Whoa.
Like if you don't want to be skinny, sorry, that's your choice.
Yeah.
Trending is Jessica Alba doing like this parenting Zoom Q&A, and she was talking about what the toughest thing about parenting is.
How do you give them the freedom to be independent and do their thing, but being independent for them always means being on a text chain or a video game? I remember being 3 years old and trying to, communicate with my parents why it's better to talk to me about something versus me getting spankings, and how I will respond better to that than this.
I don't remember anything from 3 years old.
I don't either, but I do if her 3-year-old self
was getting spanked.
Is telling the
There's
truth.
some trauma there.
I think that it's always best to sit there and talk out your feelings. Like, if you're going to hit your child because your child hit your other child, what is that possibly going to teach them? So I think maybe discipline could fall under the category of the toughest thing that you feel there is about parenting. What about you? What's the toughest thing?
That's my wife and I struggle the most with. None of my kids are stupid, but they're all lazy.
Okay.
They're all uninspired by school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they all have something else going on. So, like, I'm from the old school. My dad was a Green Beret. Like, there was no... I get anxiety right now thinking what would have happened if I would have gotten a C.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was just... It was not an option. Like, you didn't have a social or athletic life if every grade wasn't a B or higher. That was just the rule from
so
the
why
very...
do you think your kids do? That you say your wife?
No. So what'll happen is, and here's the other part. To be completely honest, do you get your kids' report card? Like, every time my son has a grade that changes, it alerts me on my phone.
Uh-huh.
If it goes from a B+ to an A- in lit, I find out about it.
Oh, I don't find out.
I know that he's got 2 missing assignments right now in his math class. I texted him this morning. These better get turned in, or I'm pulling the plug on your PlayStation.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just... And my wife, she's like, well, just give them time. I go, if you give them time, they'll take the time, and then it's going to be scramble at the end, and then you're okay with a C-. And I'm not. They're not dumb kids. They should be getting good grades.
Yeah.
And that's what we fight about the most.
I find the toughest part is to watch him need me less and less. But then that's also me doing a great job as a parent. I want him to be very independent. I love dropping him off at the field house and just saying, I'll see you in a couple of hours.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. See you at 7:45 in front of the concession stand. And he's there. And I'm like, I did that. That's great. But it's also just less and less of him needing me. He'll give me a kiss and he'll just say, oh, drive safely. I love you. Bye. And that's it. I mean, it hurts my heart. I can't talk about this anymore. I'll cry. What's the toughest thing about being a parent?
We've realized over the years here that you are amazing storytellers, but you don't get enough options to get on the radio. Therefore, this is all about you. So I've heard some of these explanations already, but Kat hasn't. Chuck, I promised you'd get the very first one today. It's called Drunk Adult or Little Kid. You give us the scenario, and Kat's got to try and figure out if this happened to you as a boozed up adult or a little kid? So please tell us about the trash can.
I took a dump in a classroom trash can while a movie was being played.
Okay, so Chuck took a dump in a classroom trash can.
Classic.
While a movie was being played. Did he do this as a drunk adult, probably in college, or a little kid?
I'm going to say a little kid. He had a duty.
Chuck, drunk adult, a little kid here, bud.
No, I was a drunk adult.
What?
I was a teacher. I couldn't stand teaching. I decided I was going to quit, and so on my last day, I got hammered.
What?
The Jaeger didn't agree with my stomach,
No.
so I put Herbie the Love Bug on and relieved myself in this tall trash can in the classroom, and that came in handy.
Not advised. Oh, my God.
Our listeners
All
are the
right.
classiest. All right, let's get a ladies' angle on this. Sandy, give us the scenario. We'll try and figure out drunk adult or little kid.
I fell down an escalator at the Gardens Mall, knocking a bunch of people over.
Okay, so she fell down the escalator, knocked a bunch of people over. Drunk adult or little kid, Kat?
I'm going to... God, I don't want to be wrong, but I'm going to say a little kid.
Sandy, drunk adult or little kid?
I was actually a little kid.
Okay.
My shoelace came untied, and I tripped. And I kind of barreled halfway down the escalator,
Ouch.
knocking a bunch of old people over.
See, this is why Elf does that big stretch
Yep.
at the bottom of the escalator all the time. He's trying to make sure. Sam, drunk adult or little kid, welcome to the show. What do you got for us?
I torched my left eyebrow off.
He torched his left eyebrow off. All right, that's enough.
I'm going to say little kid. It's always the one I should go with. that I
Sam,
choose
drunk
the
adult or little kid here?
I was a drunk adult. It was actually 2 months ago, I'd say. And I was doing a dab and just not paying much attention. And when I turned on the torch, I had the wrong part facing my face.
Yeah.
And quick, it turned it on, and within a few seconds, I just burned my eyebrow right off.
Oh, my God. Guys, that's all I can say. Men.
We once shaved the inside of a kid's eyebrow on one side and the outside of the other, so his eyes looked off-centered when he passed out at our house.
Nice.
I look back on that one and just, there's not a lot. Actually, there is a lot of pride. That was super funny. And
I
when
hope you pass out in your beach chair this
when
year.
you're 22 and somebody does that, I think it's pretty cool. What if you take a bunch of fireworks and you take a kid's bouncy house and you put them together? Today, it's our pleasure to bring you another round of drunk adult or little kid. What are you, 1 for 3 so far?
Yes.
It's a tough one today.
These are tough.
You give us the scenario. We've got to figure out whether it was performed by you all boozed up as an adult or just a silly little kid. I know this has to do with a bounce house and some fireworks. So, Jerry, you're up, man. Give us the scenario.
All right. So I set off fireworks in a bounce house, and it caused it to catch on fire.
Okay. Now we got to figure out, Kat, did Jerry do this as a drunk adult or a little kid?
I'm just going to say a little kid. I got to be right one of these times.
Jerry, drunk adult or little kid, fireworks, bounce house.
I was a little kid.
Okay.
It was the 4th of July, and my brother gave me a ton of fireworks to play with. I was so excited, and I ended up lighting them in the bounce house, which I guess I thought was a great idea.
No.
And it caught on fire, and my brother and I were grounded for 6 months, but luckily we bailed out of there before anything really bad happened.
Well, and I appreciate the call, and those are expensive to replace, too. So,
Those are.
Damon, drunk adult or little kid, what do you got for us today, bud?
Yeah, hey guys, I accidentally stabbed my grandmother with a deer antler.
All right.
Okay.
Accidentally stabbed Nana with a deer antler. Drunk adult or little kid, Kat?
I'm going to say we haven't had a drunk adult in a while. I'm going to say drunk adult.
What was it, Damon?
I was a very drunk adult.
Okay.
My grandpa was a huge deer hunter, so there was always, antlers around. And
Sure.
I got real drunk one night off some whiskey after my grandpa died, and I took one of the antlers off the wall. And for whatever reason, I started swinging it around like a ninja. And then in the middle of me swinging the antler, I accidentally stabbed my grandmother when she walked into the room. I didn't see her. It was just a dumb drunk accident, and
Sure.
she ended up being okay. Well,
Good.
sort of.
That's enough. I don't want...
Out of every story that we have, how many are women that do stuff like this?
Well,
Grab a deer head off a wall.
glad you say that. Natasha, you're up next. Last one today. Drunk adult or little kid, give us the scenario.
So I threw up on my pizza and then fell backwards in my chair.
Okay, she threw up on her pizza, fell backwards in her chair.
Well, you had an inflection too, yes. I'm going to say drunk adult.
I would have agreed on that. Drunk adult or little kid, Natasha?
I was in elementary school. They took me to a birthday party.
Oh, no.
I was so nervous because I was sitting by a boy that I had a crush on, and my tummy was all in knots. And I guess I had been eating a little bit more pizza than I realized. And all of a sudden, this wave of vomit comes up and sprays all over the table. The boy I had a crush on knocks over his soda on me, and I try to get away. I lose it, fall backwards out of my seat. Needless to say, we never got together at all.
Why are we so much more forgiving for vomit as adults, but like as kids, you're just like, I can't believe you vomited.
I remember the time Melanie Degree in first grade vomited all over the floor. She couldn't get out of the classroom soon enough.
Yeah.
And she vomited in front of herself and then slipped on it and hit her head in the doorway.
While we're using first and last names, Eric Pletton, he threw up his spaghetti lunch all over, and he was 2 back from me, thank God, in math class, or that would have hit the back of my neck. I would have died. That spray, I would have died.
At any given moment, you can scroll through Facebook and find some dude who's holding up a fish. It's a thing.
Very true.
It's a status symbol for the dudes that like the fishing. But I started thinking to myself, what's the female equivalent of that?
It's the Cara.
Oh, Cara texted in a picture of her and a big sunfish.
Oh, that's cute.
I like that. So what is the female equivalent in the picture to having a fish? How's Avery today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. What's your female equivalent to the big fish being held up?
For me, I would want to think that maybe like a baby or kid pictures, having the best kid pictures or the best kid or baby picture being posted with you.
Yes.
Instead of the fish, it's the kid.
Things that mean more. Things that mean more to her than,
Basically, it says
than him.
You're a crappy father. You like fish more than you like your kids. That's what you're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah, right. And a lot of people are texting in. The other one that somebody said, moms love pictures with their dogs.
Yeah, a lot of people texting in pictures with their pets or duck face.
Oh, here's my favorite. Avery, what do you think about this? The female equivalent is a link to her OnlyFans.
No.
I'm with Kat. No.
People are thinking, hey, thanks for the call. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Take
You
care.
too. Thank you.
What about the makeup that they're selling?
Oh, right. Or their tutorial.
Yeah, like their Lime Life.
Kelsey, what's the female equivalent to the dude with the fish in the profile pic?
I would say, like, if you don't have kids, I would probably say, like, having really nice black pants or maybe leggings that don't have hair or fur on them.
What?
Yeah.
What's your profile pic right now on Instagram or Facebook?
I actually don't have social media.
Oh,
good for you.
Well, I'm glad you could chime
JJ
in on
was
this.
making fun of people yesterday when he said, I love the people that are like, I'm not on social media. So
No, I said I think it'd be freeing. I think it would be really, really awesome.
You were making fun of that guy.
Hey, thanks, Kelsey. Who?
The guy on your baseball board.
Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, can you post this for our baseball board? I'm not on social media. I'm like,
who's not on social media?
I go, that sounds amazing. Some of my other favorite. How about this one? Her expensive purse.
Glass of wine or beer, Ugg boots, posing with a big number of balloons for their birthday.
Our loot from Target is one of the other answers, right? Is that the female equivalent to the big fish? Is a Target a cart full of Target bags?
No, I would say, but I don't know why people aren't putting their coffee. Like, all I do is see people post photos of their big coffee. I feel like that is the equivalent of posting a big walleye.
Across from me is Kat. I'm JJ. Welcome to our dopey little radio show, where during the commercial break, sometimes we get clients that ask us to cut ads for them for their commercials, right? For whatever reason.
I don't mind.
During the last commercial break, Kat said, hey, can you roll tape on this real quick so I can read this for a client? And I want to play you unedited what went down when I realized our friend Kat here is one shade away from Neanderthal status.
What's funny is that you have full control over that, but if you make a mistake, you quick delete it. So nobody can get their hands on it. You just delete it.
The thing is, without my coaching, your Neanderthal status would have went unchecked today. All right. So
no one would have noticed.
I'm just going to catch you up. This is when Kat was reading the script for a client, and it's a kind of like a vacation thing. And I'll explain fully what happens, but I think you'll be able to put it together because I wasn't on mic you don't hear a lot of what I was saying, but you can, as it goes on, see where she understands how just dopey it sounded, and then she can't correct it.
Book now and save up to $150 instantly. Plus, get 30% off every guest.
150.
What did I say? 100?
150.
Book now and save $150. What are you saying?
You say it's 150. Yeah, 150.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that.
This is where she's not believing that I'm right, that the word and doesn't go between 100 and 50. And then it comes on to this.
Book now and save up to. Book now and save up to $150. Why am I saying it? 150. 150. Book now and save up to $150 instantly. Plus, get 30% off every guest. What?
It's 100. You can't say 150. It's 150 what?
$150.
Yeah.
150. I've never been called out on my and.
Okay, so what's at this point? I have to write it out for her. I have to write out.
Then he gives his big sausage fingers and he points to each number. How would you say that?
$150, and then if there's cents, how do you say this then? This is where I'm writing it down. She still can't get it right.
$150.23.
You say and in there twice?
Yes.
What are you, a hillbilly?
I'm sorry, I like
$150.
Explain it. $150.
No, there's not an and. There's no and in there.
$150.50. I don't think so. That just doesn't flow right.
This.
Oh, I would have been done by now, but now I don't have time.
That's it. It's me trying to teach her.
That is not it. And you came unhinged. You would never fare well as a teacher. I would love for you to text in. How do you say it? $150.
It's not and. It's not and. Stop saying it.
There's a $100 bill, and then you have a $50 bill.
No, but you have
$150.
No, you have $150. It's a lump sum. It is a cash sum.
$150.
Yes.
$150. Save up to $150.
And if you
when
call
you
the
book now.
comment on this and you say 100,
I didn't say 100.
You're banned from the show. If you say 100, you're banned.
100.
Your husband too.
$50.
Your husband, especially. Oh!
You don't think that drives me crazy when you said across?
It's in every commercial, especially if you do. Oh, I die a little every day.
I can't control anybody else, and you shouldn't try to control other people.
It's not controlling.
Your heart is far too old to go through this trauma. Lori says it just like me. Thank you, Lori.
Okay, listen. The world needs Neanderthals too.
Alyssa, I say like Kat. And all the way.
Fine. If you do, that's fine. I understand full evolution hasn't happened yet.
I feel like you're saying it wrong. You say I. You put an apostrophe S on
that's
I.
To play around
no,
with you.
it's
Trust
not.
Me.
You say
Trust
it.
me. Out of all of you knuckle draggers around here, my understanding of the Queen's English is far superior to any of yours.
Highly doubtful. Dan says I always say $150.
And that's fine. And that's fine if you guys do that. Again, you will never fully understand the meaning of this. And I get it. Full evolution hasn't happened yet. That's not your fault. That's your ancestors. Your ancestors never caught on to the full evolution. Mine did.
Save up to $150.
I can't. I'm starting to sweat.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.